Alrighty, in today's video we're going to be field stripping and cleaning a Glock G17. That's the 9mm. First thing you want to do is make sure this guy's unloaded. Depress the magazine release button. Press slide back, slide stop up. Do a visual check, physical check. If you got some daylight around you, try to get some daylight behind that barrel if you can. Close the slide by depressing the slide lock button. Press slide back one more time, slide stop up, visual check, physical check. Good, the gun is unloaded and we are safe to disassemble. First thing you want to do in disassembling the Glock G17 is to depress the trigger. Do it in a safe place. Now that the trigger has been depressed, we're going to take our top 4 fingers right here. We're going to pinch the slide, and we're going to take our bottom thumb right here on whichever hand you're using, and you use that to press the lower forward, and the slot, and you're going to use your other 4 fingers to press slide backwards. You're going to slide down the 2 slide lock buttons that are on the right above the trigger group on your Glock. Let it go. Sometimes it'll shoot forward, sometimes it won't. Now we have our 2 pieces. Out of our 2 pieces, we will make a third piece, and that will be the guide rod spring assembly right there. From that, all that's left is to take out the barrel. If you have any bullets in the room, right now may be a good time. Take a little break, go take your bullets, put them in a separate room. It's always best to be safe when you're cleaning your guns. If you have a war room that you keep all your weapons in, maybe it would be good to clean your guns in a different room. I'm cleaning my guns in my kitchen because I got great lighting in here. What can I say? Anywho, so you can take your stuff, put it in another room. I don't have any bullets in this room. Anyways, moving forward, we're going to need a nylon brush, patches, Q-tips, 3-in-1, or you can use your own solvent and lubricant separately, of course, and a guide rod, and our bore brushes. It's not a secret, but you can use 357 38 caliber bore brushes on a 9mm pistol. There's only 2 thousandths of a difference in the size between the 2 calibers. That's just the way it is. But anyway, so we're gonna get us a little Tupperware set out right here. We're gonna spray us some CLP down on a bore brush, and I always like to start with the barrel first because to me that's the most important part of the gun, right? Alright, so make sure if you got your CLP, shake it up before you use it. You can smell the difference. I can totally smell the difference between a shaken up CLP and a non-shaken up CLP. It settles. I don't know what settles. It's chemicals. I'm not a scientist, but it settles. And it smells, you know, particularly pungent after you shake it up. And you know, if it's pungent, that's the good stuff. Anyways, I'm going to get to it right quick. Go ahead and screw on your bore brush here. I love keeping me these little sandwich Tupperwares right here because you don't have to pay for them and you get some sandwich meat. Cover it. Very nice, very nice. Let it drip however you want. Always going through the rear end. One good time, screw it off and go back through. That's all you got to do right there. Don't worry about the guide rod touching the inside of the barrel. It's aluminum. The barrel is steel. What I like to do after I pass my bore brush through probably 7 or 10 times, take a patch, throw it right on top of it, send it. Let your carbon build up. From there, you keep passing patches through until it comes out white. Very important. It doesn't have to be perfect if you're on the move, but if you want to be able to pass down your gun to a relative, might as well take pretty good care of it. See? Already way cleaner than the first patch. Alright, this was my, one of my last patches that I've put through the gun. Before we finish with our last patch, it's good to take your nylon brush right here, brush the ramp, battery area. Don't use a brass brush for this. you'll wear out all that bluing right there, and that's a very big no-no. If it's not coming off, you're not using enough elbow grease, but use nylon or toothbrush or whatever the heck they're made out of. But you want to do this in case there's anything getting caught up in that barrel in there. Alright, we're going to put another brush through this guy. Boom, done. Super clean. Next thing you're going to want to do, take a patch, pinch it around your guide rod spring assembly, just wipe it off. It's not even dirty. Look at that. Barely any dirt on it at all. You start getting crud in here, that's about the time you want to get some compressed air. Press it all in there, and or disassemble it. Well, I'm going to do that in a later video when I take apart the whole Glock. Alright, moving forward. What do we have next? We have our slide. This is a very important piece of machinery here in the Glock. I just like to clean off my brush. Just go in here and hit it. Start scrubbing. Inside these channels right here, you're going to want to get that with a Q-tip. Sometimes I like to take a pair of scissors, cut my Q-tip in half, and narrows it up very well, so you can get right in there. I also like to take a pick, kind of like one of these right here, but it's, I don't like this one because it's plastic. Doesn't really do very much for me. You can get this in a pretty crappy gun cleaning kit, but Mac Tools makes a pretty rad pick for mechanic work. And what I like to do is I like to wrap a lot of patches around one of these like metal dental picks, and I can use that, clean those channels in the slide right there. That's just an example. See, that's the dirt we're dealing with inside there. It's pretty dirty. I went out and got it dirty for you guys the other day. I didn't do it for me, I did it for y'all. Anyway, I'm going to keep scrubbing here for a minute and we'll get back to cleaning it. That's what I was talking about when I said I like to cut off the end of the Q-tip. Make it a little bit smaller than it actually is. Fits pretty well inside these channels here. Yeah. Be careful not to leave any of the hair off the Q-tip inside of the slide. It's just another thing for your elitist friends to yell at you about. Not too shabby. So we've done the guide rod spring assembly, the barrel, the slide. Now you can see where the dirt gets collected inside the magazine well, kind of right here. But you don't want to use too much oil cleaning in these areas, because the more oil you use, the dirtier it's going to get in all these particular spaces. You also want to make sure that your trigger does not come forward, because if during reassembly, if the trigger is forward, the slide will not go on correctly. So we're just gonna take a couple of patches. You can put a patch on the end of your toothbrush, rub it down in here if you'd like. You can take some denatured alcohol and use it very sparingly in these particular areas, but this doesn't get that dirty, especially after probably only putting 100 rounds through it. Sorry about that. And we're good to go. You know, probably used a few patches, a few Q-tips here. Move all this stuff out of your way. So anyways, CLP, that's all I used. You can throw a little oil in these channels right here, which I will do. Like 1 drop, that's it, that's all you need. Nothing serious. The manual says lube up a lot of these pieces, but usually all that lube just too much. So, alright, now that your gun's clean, we should probably reassemble it. First thing you want to do is drop in the barrel. It sits pretty flush. And we're going to throw in our guide rod spring assembly. It should sit right down there in its channel, if you can see that. Alrighty, we're going to match up these lines in the slide to the channel, and you bracket back, you're all good. So, functions check, throw in a magazine, pull a slide back, slide stop should catch it, pull a trigger, pull a slide back, close it, listen for the click, magazine out of the gun, pull a trigger, slide back. There you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to be making a lot more, whether people like it or not. Next one, I'm going to clean a couple of 45s and maybe a couple shotguns. If you like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the alarm button. I love guns. I'm going to do some shooting tomorrow. Me and my buddy are going to have a little friendly competition of 50 rounds at 50 yards with my 10-22 that's almost as old as I am. So, it should be good. Alright, stay safe and stay armed.